Hey everyone, welcome in. I'm Captivate, and I've been messing around with Blue Yellow Nami. Ever since this leader was released, I personally thought that this leader was going to be broken. The leader effect reads like way too good for the game. She says you may activate this effect when a life card leaves any life area. Draw one card if you have 7 or less cards in your hand. And then she also has another effect, Dawn times 1 on the opponent's attack. Once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand, and this leader gains 2,000 power during this turn. So she has card advantage, which is one thing all 4 life leaders need. And then she has a way to cycle out your bricks, which lets you be really greedy with the deck list. I feel like she didn't really get any like specific support for her, and then she has a generically really good leader ability. I think you could say that like this Luffy was printed both her and then also blue purple Luffy, which is obviously a lot better because it has access to Gum Gum Giant. I think if this deck had Giant, it would be a lot better. So this is what I'm currently experimenting with. I am going to be updating this deck list, and if you want to see the updated deck list, it will be in my Discord, which will be in the description below. Go join that, and then I will be able to talk with anyone who wants to help me theorycraft how to build this leader, and then I will be showing my updated list there. I also have started a Metafy where I will be doing coaching, and I have a lovely little 15% off discount code in the Discord, so join that, and then I will also have the Metafy linked down below. So jumping into the deck list, I have included Carrot. I think this is a really good just like generic blue card that lets you look at the top 3, and then if you like them, leave them on top. And she synergizes really well with the Ivankov. Specifically, this card I have not seen in any Nami deck list so far. I don't know if I've just missed them, but I have really liked this card so far. So on play, you can reveal the top card of your deck and then play a 2-cost character, which there are a lot of 2-cost characters in the Nami deck list. It's kind of the foundation of Nami deck lists are these 2-cost characters. So if you hit them, cool, you can hit them and then play them out. Oftentimes, they're not really going to be set up if you're playing him on curve. On like your 3-Don turn, there's not really anything to bounce with Nojiko, and then there's not really anything to KO. And then if you happen to hit like Ivankov into hitting a Hiyori, into playing the Kikunojo in life or setting up one of your life triggers, then like cool. But even if you hit the Ivankov to play the Hiyori, her just manipulating your life gives you a card draw regardless because you hit this for free. So it's like very similar to the blue pudding. For anyone who's played Marco, they played this card solely for the fact that you could hit it off of the Ivankov and then bounce it back. So this is effectively the same card where you can hit it, manipulate your life, and then because you manipulate your life, you get to trigger leader effect. She's cool that you can set up top 3. So if you're going first, you play her on 1, and then you set it up in a way that you draw the top card, and then the second card you'll hit with Ivankov. So if you happen to see a 2-cost in there, that works great. If not, you get to throw it on bottom. And then one of the cool things about a lot of the like searchers that they've printed recently is it's not just a wasted card or a wasted 1k out of your hand, because you can just use her to trash her from the board to give a 1k. So it's like you never really played her out. The law, I think all of these little chump blockers are in a really good spot in the game right now because Lucci isn't very prevalent with Brook just being able to like get played and then pop these bodies. I think they're super relevant. They're really good into blue purple Luffy, which is like the best and most popular deck right now. So just being able to throw this down and then eat a 9k swing is going to be really good. Nojiko is leader locked to Nami. She was originally printed for the other Nami, and now that we have another one, we get to use her in the deck. I think it's a really good tempo play. You can just play her, bounce a 5-cost. That's great. This is like, I love this card in the deck. I think he's so good. One of the things is I already mentioned that you can play a 2-cost, but really his main effect is the when attacking, if your hand has 6 cards or less, you get to draw a card. So this synergizes super well with your leader effect because you can swing him, and then if he gives you a draw, so if you're at 6 cards, you draw to 7, and then at the same time while he's swinging, if they take that life, you get to do leader effect, and then that happens with your leader too. So if you have 5 cards in hand at the start of your turn, you draw for your turn to go to 6, swing him, go to 7, and then if they take life, you go to 8 cards. So you go from 5 to 8 in 1 turn. You stay so high in cards almost all game as long as you see the Ivankov. It's crazy. Like the leader gives you enough card draw as it is, and then the Ivankov just gives you that little bit more while also being a blocker or something that the deck has to deal with, using some removal. Pudding, I think you have to have pudding in every blue deck, just like 1 or 2 copies of it, just to keep your opponent honest. The Nami is really good. Cycling, setting up your top if you need to, like maybe if you play her on 8-Don, you could play her, set up a 2-cost, play Ivankov. That's one of the little combos you can do between the two of them. Oftentimes, I'll just have like a flood of Kikunojos heroes or like kids and just a bunch of these bricks in my hand that I don't really want. So it's just a nice draw 3, bottom deck 2. I don't lose any cards while playing a blocker. The Boa, I have been experimenting with both Boa and then also Linlin, the 6-cost Linlin. This is probably the more standard card in Nami, and I definitely think this card is really good. But oftentimes it's one of those cards that just like catches people that are worse at the game by surprise, because anyone who's better at the game knows you just trash a life if you can. So like if you play this on 6, oftentimes they're going to be at like 3 life. So all they do is they just trash 1 life, and yes, you trashed a life from them, but you also trashed a card. So it's like you trash 1 card for them to trash 1 life. It's fine. I think the card is good, and I definitely don't think it's bad. But I've been experimenting with the Boa as a way to just stop some of the really big characters in the game, like the 9-cost characters that Blue Purple Luffy plays. The Katakuri has some big characters. Every deck in the game right now has really big characters. So outside of the 9-cost Luffy and then the 6-cost purple Luffy that can rush and swing twice, she's going to be able to freeze just about all of them. Jozu, I think, is a staple in Nami because of the fact you run these little two-cost characters, as well as the carrot even. It just, you have a lot of ways to set up the Jozu, and then it makes it so that you get to maintain cards in hand and then bounce your 2Ks back to your hand. So I think he's really good for that. Really good tempo play, bouncing 6-cost. That's a really relevant number right now. Just bouncing anything from 4 to 6 really are all typically pretty good characters. The 8-cost Luffy, when I started playing Nami, I was running 4 of this card, and then the more I played, the more I just kept taking copies out. I would really love to play the Newgate that exists in the, or is it not Newgate? The 7-cost. It's Odin actually. The Odin from the starter deck. I would love to play this card. We don't have the starter deck yet. It hasn't released. I think it releases in August or September. I don't know if I'll switch this card for the Odin, but I would love to have this in the Nami deck. I think it helps a lot. This deck is primarily good for its effect of when attacking, you can trash a card to bounce a character, so you can just bounce one of their blockers. I think that's the most relevant effect of him. Hiyori and Zeus are just really good 2Ks. They synergize well with Nami because she says whenever a life card leaves any area, so that counts for your own life as well. So Hiyori will take 1 of your life, you'll put 1 back, and you'll get to draw a card. While doing that, yeah, Hiyori goes to the board, so you technically lose 1 card out of hand, but then you get to draw it back. And then if you use something like Jozu to bounce her back to your hand, then you really get to draw 1. Zeus is the same thing. You just get to KO a 5-cost character. Kikunojo is in the deck pretty specifically for Hiyori. I have not come to a decision on if I think Kikunojo is like warrants a spot in the deck. It very often, like, you can put her in on your Tudon turn, but there's a lot of 5-life leaders in the game right now, and it's pretty hard for her trigger to be relevant. So yeah, I'm not super set on if I want Kikunojo or not, but right now she's in the deck. I think it's fine. I'm fine with it. Maybe you could run Cavendish as another option. You could put Cavendish in there. He's also a brick. He's a little bit slow with the fact that he doesn't come in like in Usopp. He can attack the turn that you play him into rested characters, and you don't get that with Nami. So it is a little bit slower of play him on your Fordon turn, and then you get to swing with him. But it is another thing of like, if you go first and you play Ivankov on 3, him on 5, and then have both of them stick, you can hit a point where like you get to draw another card while cycling with him. So you could go from start your turn with 5, swing with Ivankov, or start your turn with 5, draw for turn, go to 6, swing with him, go to 7, they take the life, you go to 8, swing this, and then you go to 9 in hand while trashing, like cycling through one of the cards in your hand. So I do think that he's pretty powerful if he sticks. He's just a little bit slow. If he had a trigger like Kikunojo, 100% I would play him. I think it'd be a really broken card. But yeah, as it stands, I definitely could see myself playing Cavendish, and then if I do, then it's like, well, what's the point of playing Hiyori, because I don't really have many targets. But yeah, that's one decision I'm not super set on. I'll probably be updating my deck list here soon on what I would include over this, or if I've decided that I like it. And then the kid, this has been, ever since I started playing the deck, this felt like the best card in the deck. It feels really, really good to play him, trash one of their life, draw a card, and then you get to cycle for everyone that you have out on the board. So he's incredible. There's Slave Arrow. I feel like I've seen this in a couple decks now. I think this is really good. It synergizes well with Ivankov as well. The Nami deck in general, just you get all these little bodies out, and then you typically never really return them to your hand outside of Jozu. So this is just another way to, if you played a Hiyori or a Zeus earlier in the game, it's really nice that you can, if they're trying to go for game, you can use this, get one of these 2Ks back in your hand, and then you get to go up 4K. It's like, it's not giant, but it feels pretty close to giant, especially because you'll find as you play this deck, you have these on board like almost every single game. I think you have these on board actually every game. So then you just get to use the slave arrow, bounce one back, and then you draw a 2K. You effectively draw a 2K because they weren't going to go back in your hand anyways. So I really like this card. I think I want to take it to 4. So far 3 has felt good because you do run into situations where 8 is your highest cost character. So it's like, okay, I'll play the kid. I'll put 1 on Nami so I have her leader effect, and that's 9 Don. And then it's like, okay, well, I want to swing 5 with Ivankov if he's still on the board, or I want to play a Law. And it's like, I often find these spots where I would only be able to play 1 slave arrow, where because like I said, I played like a Luffy, put 1 on leader effect, and then now I only have 1 Don standing. So for that reason, I've been happy with 3, but I could totally see playing 4. And then 2 Red Rock. I started with 4 when I started playing this deck and then dropped it to 2. 2 has felt good. I would 100% include Red Rock. I think you need Red Rock for all of the big characters in the game right now, but 2 has felt good. I would love to add a Gravity Blade. I just have no idea where I would fit it in at. So yeah, this is Nami. This is where my list currently is at. I have been loving Ivankov and then Slave Arrow. These are 2 cards I really wasn't playing before, and they felt super good so far in my testing. So I'm gonna have a couple games for you all to watch. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all have fun with Nami. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have not yet, please like and subscribe. It means so much to me, and it is free for you. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again. Yeah, I'm gonna go first and just take their first card from them, and then that will let me play my cards on curve. So I am going to, we could play that on 1, 3. I can curve out pretty fine on this one. We'll just play this, then we'll pass. I do like starting with the carrot to set up the Ivankov, but we are fine this way. We'll just hit him for 5. I do think there's an argument to just starve this deck because we do know that the Beer Luffy's going to come down, which will make his leader 7,000, so it just makes it a little bit easier for us to chip at that. But with Nami's leader ability, I think it's alright. We can play the Hiyori. We already did leader effect, but this will get it on the board for free. And I'll just go ahead and take this just to see another card out of my life, and then I will put the Slave Arrow there for if we do want to trigger that. And he does swing 8 at us. I could block, be at 6 on my turn. I'll draw to 7. So we can still get leader effect next turn. So I'll just take this one, and then we do know that it's the Slave Arrow. So I'm going to 5. I could play the Nami. I could play Pudding. I don't hate the idea of playing Pudding, actually, so I'm not going to trigger this, just so I could use the Slave Arrow to bounce the Hiyori back to my hand, because he's never going to end up killing that. So once I get one of these like 2-cost characters on board, it pretty much just makes this live. It's why I like this card so much in this deck. Okay, so we can go... The Ivankov will not draw right now. So we could play Pudding and then go 5-5, and then that would let Ivankov draw, and then Nami would draw. I think I like that. I imagine he will counter out if I swing 5, so we'll go ahead and just do that. And then he'll draw, and then Nami will also let us draw whenever he takes, assuming he takes one of these. I really like the Ivankov in this deck. I have not seen him in any list so far. Maybe I've just missed them, but I think there's definitely something with this card. Alright, so we do get to use leader effect, and then I'll just swing another 5 here. And we will pass. We weren't able to do leader effect, but I think going 5-5 is fine. I could have gone like 5. No, it's kind of awkward because like I could go 6 and then he knows I can't swing again, so he just gives me a 2k. Alright, so if I give a 2k here, he'll go here again, and then I wouldn't give... I could go 2. I could go 2-2, 2-2. And then just block this. Just to keep the Ivankov on board, because Ivankov's going to let me draw. We do need to discard for leader effect, and I don't need to use the Hiyori or the Zeus, really. I'm not going to be able to kill anything with the Zeus. going into 7, I can play the Jozu. Yeah, so if he goes 5 here again, I think I'll 2k and then just block this and then keep the Ivankov alive, because he'll draw me another card. So I basically get to just like 2k to draw one, and then while also swinging into something. It means I wouldn't be able to put one on my leader for her leader effects. All right, so he goes 5, so I will give the 2k, and then we'll block the 7. And he can't use the effect of the Luffy, obviously, because he'd need 2 active. If he could, I would have never saved the Ivankov. All right, so 7 Dawn. We can... The Jozu can bounce the Luffy because he didn't put a Dawn on leader. So he can bounce the Luffy, and then we have 1 extra Dawn. So I'll bounce the Hiyori back to my hand. We don't get to draw off of Ivankov because we have so many cards in hand. So I think what we'll do is go 5 at the Zoro. See if he wants to let that die or give us a card. I'm definitely going to play the Jozu and then bounce the Hiyori, so this will come off the board. Yeah, and then I'll probably go 5 with Pudding. I know this deck runs a lot of 2Ks, so I would rather just swing base, knowing that he's probably going to have to give me a 2K regardless, so I'd rather get 2 swings at 5 rather than 1 at 6. Just to guarantee I get 2 cards out of his hand, or he lets this die. And if he lets this die on this 5, then I get to do another 5 at life to get 1 more card out of hand, rather than swinging 6, this dying. So he lets that die, and then now we can go 5 at life. I would swing with the Ivankov, but we wouldn't be able to draw. And we still get to draw leader effect, which is nice. Bounce that. And then now we get to keep the Ivankov standing, so we can counter out some this turn, and then just have him as an additional draw once we do go lower in hand size, because we're still super healthy right now. Yeah, and then on my next turn, he is 7. Probably gonna go 8 at our life. We only have 1 2K. I would love to counter out of this, but that's kind of expensive. So we could go 2 1 1, and then Ivankov would let us draw another one. And then I'm gonna probably use the kid. Yeah, so let's go 2. We'll get rid of, keep the Nojiko just in case he does play a blocker that we want to bounce. All right, so I think I want to play the kid here. And then that'll let me draw. So I can do Ivankov first to draw, just get another card. And then I will play the kid, and then we'll swing 7 with Jozu, put 1 on leader because we don't have a 2 cost on board for Slave Arrow anymore, because we bounced it with Jozu. Yeah, and then we'll still be at 7, or we'll go to 6 once we play this. Leader effect will take us back to 7, and then this will let us cycle because we won't need this other kid. We can just trash this for the kid effect, and then we can swing 7. Yeah, draw, and then so if I use leader, I'll go to 7. I think that is better than getting like an 8 swing. All right, and then I will trash the kid because we don't need that. I do know that he has the 6-cost Luffy. Yeah. Oh, okay, 9-cost Luffy. And then he'll leave 2 Don standing, I assume. 7, and then this will go to 7. So we'll use trashing. Let's get rid of the slave arrow because I don't think I'm gonna use it, and then this is just gonna be don't have any 2Ks, but I don't need to. Cool. So let's give the Jozu. I don't think we'll use the Jozu. Yeah, and then 10 into 7. Unfortunate. So we do have to let that die. That's fine. Alright, so I'm assuming he has 2 giants. And if we go 19, he's at 7. So it's 11. And then 15 is 2 giants. He goes to 6 Dawn next turn. I do have a Nami. I probably play the Nami just to get a blocker out. So we can swing this to draw because I'm never going to hit 7 with him. Taking a sweet time. Okay. And then we'll play the Nami and we will bottom both. Yeah, we'll bottom both of those. We can Nojiko and Zeus. None of them are gonna do anything. I'm gonna put 1 on my ability anyways, just so that I can get leader effect. So I'm gonna just swing 7, just to attach the 1 Don, because it's always efficient to attach 1 Don and swing, because you can see I got a 2K out of that. And then we can go 11. Do I want to go 11 here, or do I want to play a 2-cost? We actually can return the pudding for the slave arrow. Yeah, and then he'll be at 8 Dawn. I'm guessing he's going to play... I'm sure he has 1 more than that in his hand now. And then we can trash... it doesn't really matter what we trash. I think that's fine. I could trash the law, but like I'm going to trash for leader effect anyways. So I might want to hold on to him, because I imagine we won't be able to kill him next turn. Just with the way purple decks are, they can stay at 0 life for like 2 turns with giants. And I do think the Zeus is going to come up, because if we can just Zeus this... Okay. Is our rest a character? Oh, he didn't use it. Alright, so I think I can... if I take this, then 7, 10... If I leader 1k... and then he goes 7 again, I give another 1k, so it's these 3, and then he goes 10 here, I give a 2k. I think I'm fine to take this one. And then I'll just counter out of... never mind. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't have to give anything for that. And then the 10 maybe goes here. Yeah, 10 here. So it's 7 with leader effect, and then 8, 9. Do I want to take another one? I don't have any revolutionary characters that I could put in my life with the Sabo. I think I'll just take this. Alright, so... I'm sure he has another giant, and if I bounce this, he's gonna end up... So we could bounce the Chopper. The Frankie is a little bit more annoying to bounce because it's just gonna let him draw again, like cycle through his deck more. I do have a lot of counter in my hand, so I'm not too scared. So what we could do is we could go Nojiko to bounce, and then Jozu is 6 to bounce the Frankie. And then I could go 9, 7, 9. Maybe we do that. Let's do Nojiko, and then we'll go Jozu. And I'll go 9. I'm sure he's going to giant this one. But at least we do have another 7k body on board. And then I can get the Law. The Slave Arrow is still online, and I have several 2ks. I also do get to cycle this Luffy. Do I want to cycle this Luffy? I probably got to hold him. He's just kind of expensive. Maybe they just 2-1 this. I mean, they have so many cards in hand. Yeah, just hold their giant for next turn. All right, so now I could go 7. I think I'm just going to go 7. And then on my next turn, I could play the Law. All right, and then I will trash. I feel like I want to hold the Luffy. I do have the Nojiko again. Let's just get rid of the Ivankov here. I could have healed that with Sabo. Maybe that's the play, is just play Sabo to heal that. We'll use, and then I will go 2k. Okay, I was expecting him to play the Rush Luffy this turn, but I guess, yeah, just cycle these blockers. And I'll give the carrot here. All right, leaving 2 up. Yeah, I guess we'll take. Okay, so he can't have 2 giants, and he gets a 1k there. So Nojiko is 2, and then I could go 7. Yeah, let's just go for it. So it's bounce, and then it's gonna be 7, 7, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 2k, 2k, or 1k, 1k, and then that's 7. 11 is giant. Yeah, so we'll just do that. Okay, and then we'll just go for it with that. Unless his entire hand is 2ks and he draws out 2ks, I think we get there. Oh, oh, he just got there. All right, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was crazy that he was alive for like 3 turns with 0 life. Just the nature of playing giant. I probably should have played the Luffy last turn rather than Jozu. Just play like Nojiko bounce 1, Luffy bounce the other. That might have been a little bit better, just to get like 1 more swing on life. But yeah, we ended up getting there. Ooh, we have a Bonney. And they chose to go first, so we were going second. We have Zeus. Zeus is going to be good to remove their mid-game bodies, but other than that, we have literally nothing to do. Alright, so we can play Carrot here. We can't swing, obviously, because we are on Tudon. And with Carrot, we find a Jozu, which is good. But we're not going to hit anything on the Ivankov. I think we can go ahead and, so if we top this, we could draw Jozu, play Ivankov, do nothing with Ivankov. I think I will top this just so that I can get the Jozu for my 6-on turn. And then, yeah, we'll set it up this way. And we'll pass there. Oh, I should have put a Dawn on my leader. But that is fine. Yeah, because I could have leader affected. I kind of want to take this anyways, but I do think I'm gonna... If they swing into the carrot, I mean, it's basically a blocker, so I'm not that upset about it. And then we could play Kikunojo instead of the Ivankov. Do we want to do that instead? Because if we play Ivankov, we're not going to hit anything, and then on our next turn, we'll be at 6. Yeah, we'll just go 5. I'm guessing they'll kill the carrot, which does kind of mess up our Jozu, but we can still bounce the Ivankov if we need to. So I'm okay with doing that. I'm very surprised they counter out of that. Obviously can't do anything with that. I'm just going to put it on the bottom. I don't think I need another one. Alright, so they go 5 at us here. I don't want to use this effect. I definitely should have put the Dawn here. I don't know why I'm forgetting to do that. I want to keep the Zeus. I kind of want to keep all these. I'm just going to give the Nami here, because I think the Zeus is going to be more relevant, and I do want to keep life so that I can actually use the Zeus. Yeah, so now we can go... we'll swing the Ivankov to draw a card. And then we're at 7, so even if they do take this 5, I'll still get to do leader effects. So we'll go 5 as well. And then the Jozu, I'm going to bounce back the carrot to bounce their carrot. Yep, just so I can keep the Ivankov on board, obviously. And if they do decide to go like 5 at it, I'm not sure if I want to give the 2k for it, knowing that they have carrot. If they go 6, yeah, at my life, I'll give the 2k for. Alright, so Zeus. I think we do want to use the Zeus, and then I'll go to 7 when I play it, so I'll still draw off of my leader effect, but if not, I could have played like the Law. I think I'm going to play the Kikunojo here, so it'll be Kikunojo, Zeus, Law, leader effect, I guess? Or not, but 1 for leader. Yeah, so we'll just see what we draw first. We do get another Jozu, so I could play that just to get the Zeus back in my hand and then get a 7k body on board. I'll go ahead and swing 7 first. They haven't established a Tashigi, so unless they establish a Tashigi with Kid, then I'll be able to Red Rock, which will be nice. I think I'm gonna just get the Kikunojo on board, and then this... I think I'll leave 1 up for Slave Arrow if I want to bounce the Zeus back to my hand so that I can reuse it on something they play. They do have a lot of cards in hand, which is not great for them getting a Kid. We also haven't really been able to establish a big body yet now that we're only at our 8th turn, but I don't have any big bodies in my hand. Pudding would also be nice right now. I feel like I never see Pudding against this deck. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and Slave Arrow this, and then bounce the Zeus, which will then... So I think it's bounce first. Okay. I really like this card in Nami. I think this card works really, really well with the like current builds of Nami. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to play the deck, but yeah, so now we have the Jozu, which is nice. Okay, so we can Nojiko and then Jozu bounce Nojiko to bounce the carrot. Yeah, and then let's do, so it's Nojiko, bounce, and then Jozu, bounce. And then I can go ahead and play Law, which will get me to 6. He will get me to 5. So I'll draw off him. Do I want to put this on leader? Yeah, let's just get as many as we can. I have the blocker, I have 2, 1, 1, and then I'm gonna play the Kid next turn. But the one downside about Kid into this matchup is Shanks kind of just deletes it. So it's like, yeah, I trashed a life, but then Shanks just gets rid of my Kid. And you get to draw so many cards with this deck. I heard Leader Effect like already lets you draw a lot of cards. And then when you add in... So I played the Law just to get down in hand size, and we have another Law. I'm just going to block this only because I know I'm going to have to play over it unless they play a Shanks here. Yeah, they do. I'm okay with that. So I could Red Rock the Shanks, but I think I want to hold it for a Kid. So it's going to be 8 is Kid. I can play a Law, so Kid Law. Kid Law will take me to 7. I have so many cards in hand. Kid doesn't even let me do Leader Effect, so we'll just go Law and then Kid. And yeah. We'll draw, okay. And then that will at least let me cycle. There's no reason to swing with the Ivankov here, obviously, because I'm not going to draw. And then either of these are going to swing for 6. I probably should have gone 6 first, you know. And then, yeah, I think I just go 6 again. He could take it and then play Kid, which is like a little bit of a concern. But without Tashigi, he's either going to just, like without Tashigi on board, it's either play Kid, get Red Rocked, or play Kid and then Tashigi, and then I just jam into it and kill it. And it doesn't, I mean, like it buys him a turn, but at the same time, he didn't actually do anything. So I'll counter out of whatever he swings with his leader here and then block whatever the Shanks does. If he has another Shanks to Shanks the Kid, like whatever, that they're playing 4 of these in every Bonney deck right now, I think. So it's kind of bound to happen for them to just change Shanks. Oh yeah, Zoro. I mean, he could play Zoro. I think he just dies if he plays Zoro. Man, I have so many cards. I think I've had 8 cards like all game long. The Ivankov just getting those like extra cards, and then also with Leader Effect, it's like draw for turn, swing, draw, hit, draw. This deck is crazy. I don't know why I haven't been seeing Ivankov in Nami decks. Okay. So I guess he's gonna go for game with 18 cards in hand. What are you doing? I mean, like maybe he goes like 14, 13 actually. 13 into 9, I'd still get out of it. Oh no, my Ivankov. Yeah, that's fine. What's your plan? I don't know what his plan here is. I'm guessing he didn't have a Kid. Otherwise, I think you always have to play the Kid and just like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, yeah, he really didn't have a play. He could have played Carrot, Freeze, Dofi, and then Oh, hey, we got there though. Ooh, Katakuri. I am gonna take first. I think this deck wants to go first. Maybe it wants to go second because they ramp. I think they want to play like Pudding on curve. Oh, so we have Carrot into Ivankov, which is nice. So hopefully we can find something off the Carrot, and we do. Nice. So we'll draw. I mean, Zeus doesn't really do anything, but I can get it on board to like set up to bounce, and then also for Slave Arrows. So it's like play Ivankov, play this, which won't actually do anything. Or do I want to just draw this so I can KO something he plays? I feel like it's probably going to be better for us to draw it. I probably should have just bottomed these, actually. I was so excited about getting the hit. But now that I think about it, I think I just bottomed these. That's fine. I'll just draw it. Because I feel like I would rather KO like their pudding or Bon Clay or something. Maybe not Bon Clay, but something that's going to give them value. Because I know once they get a pudding on board, their leader effect becomes free. So we'll go 5. Oh man, I could have killed the pudding while taking my life. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna bottom that. Yeah, I'll play Nami on my next turn. Or I could even play Kikunojo. Because it could be like swing 5/5 Kikunojo. And then draw off Ivankov. I don't think Katakuri has any way to KO stuff. I know the list that did well in Toronto, I think it was top 32 or something like that. I'm pretty sure that list was not playing 9-cost Lin. Yeah, so this is one body I was kind of thinking about. So if I swing this, I get to draw. I'm definitely going to swing him. So I could go Nami, swing 5, or I could go like 5/5 Kikunojo. So I don't think I ever play the Zeus just to get rid of the pudding. Yeah, let's go 5/5, because I'm sure he's gonna want to take one of these. And then we get to do leader effect as well. Get to draw another card, and then we'll go 5, and then I'll play Kikunojo. I'll save the pudding, or not pudding, the Nami for a little bit. Oh, he uses leader effect there. And that's only on your turn, or their turn. That's interesting to leader effect there. He like hasn't ramped yet. I don't know. What is... I think this guy cycles. Yeah. Okay, so get Boa. It's actually not bad. So this can go... Is it just leader? Yeah, this is just leader. So if I go 1k... I feel like I'd give the 1k here. Yeah, I think I will. I'll just give it Jozu. I'm only going to play Jozu on my next turn, and then I'll have like Boa and Kid to play. I don't think I counter out of this one. Do I actually counter out of this one? I wish this was characters too. If I had the Dawn for Slave Arrow up, that would be nice too. So if I go 2-1, I do want to play the Jozu. At least I wanted to play the Jozu. I could play Boa, freeze this, and then I get to go like 4. Draw 1 card. So it's like I give 2-1, draw 1, and then I also get to go here, and he gives me a card for it. I think that's fine. Do I want to give up my Zeus though? Yeah, I do. Okay, so we'll go... Let's get rid of Nami, actually. I like the idea of keeping Jozu. Yeah, and then, so 7. I'm going to play Jozu, bounce Carrot. So we'll just start with a 4 here. Yeah, and then we'll go yeah, we'll go 6/6. Start with a 6, and then the Jozu will bounce Carrot to bounce Sparrow. And then we get to draw another card. This deck's so fun. Cool. And then now we really don't have any counter to keep the Ivankov. We don't even have it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. He used his effect. Okay, so Ivankov has lived a lovely life. I think he drew us 3 cards. Okay, so I could totally red rock the Katakuri, but I know he's gonna play the Lin next turn. At least I assume he will. I can play Kid, get leader effect, play Law. I think I'm gonna do that. We don't really have counter. And then the Boa can stun the Linlin after it gets played. So actually we could go, what, 6? We could go 6 bottom, play Law, 7/7. Yeah, because then the Law's gonna eat the Linlin swing, and then we'll just go 6. We do have leader effect. Yeah, Law will eat Linlin. We can counter out. Maybe we can counter out of this, and then we can stun the Linlin with Boa. And we get the Noji code. That's nice. I do want to start cycling. Let's just do this as well because he already took. I'm going to bottom these. I kind of want a Nami. Okay, yeah, so he has no 2Ks. I did notice, I feel like this deck doesn't run a ton of 2Ks. I don't remember the exact number, but I feel like if I remember right, it doesn't run too many. Yeah, and then we get the GG. Yeah, so like I was saying, he would have just gone Linlin, we block, and if he does Linlin, that's his entire turn, and then the Boa gets to just freeze Linlin. I'm testing this card right now. I feel like I really like this card, just for like these big bosses, but against like blue-purple Luffy, I don't know if it's really enough to just freeze one. Yeah, I'm only playing 2 Red Rock right now. This matchup was pretty easy when I was playing 4, because I just bottom decked everything they played. I am gonna go second. Yeah, I can set up a Hiyori on my first turn, so I think that's worth doing, just to get a Kikanojo out. And then I'll get to draw off of doing the Hiyori. Alright, so Hiyori will take, put that, draw. Cool, and then we have Ivankov for next turn. Maybe we'll draw a carrot to kind of set up the Ivankov. But either way, just having him on board. Unless he gets removed the turn he gets played. Okay. I don't get to trigger it, but that's fine. I'm not gonna give 2 cards for it. Okay, so we actually do get the carrot. Nice. And we can do it again. We'll do that, and then we'll have the Red Rock as well. Let's go 5. So I don't think they're playing Finger Pistols anymore. And I get to do my leader effect again. I don't get my Dawn on my leader though. So if he does go 7, I kind of have to take it because I don't have any 2Ks because I've been putting them on the board. I do think that that might be a little bit scary in this matchup because I typically like Jozu to get them back. 5, he's probably going to play Kuzan. Going to go to 8 on my turn. Yeah, I'll just use that. Yeah, no, Jozu feels bad. I don't get to draw. I can play Nami and Law, or I could Nami leader effect. Let's do that. Play Nami, and then... Oh, I should have gone 6. Do I want to play Law? Yeah, I think I do. Want to put a Dawn on my leader. Just because I don't have any 2Ks, so... If he swings like a 5 or a 6 with 1 card, I can probably get out of both attacks. And yeah, Finger Pistol. Jeez, 3 Finger Pistol. What is this deck? We'll use this, and I don't think putting is going to ever be relevant. And if he goes 8, we just have to take it. But I'm also fine with him going 8. Probably pop the Kuzan for Burgess. Yeah. So I can play both of these. Play both of those for 5. And then I'll be at 6, and then I could go like 6/6. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll go Law. Kikunojo, and then we'll go 6 to draw, and then I can still get leader effects. So I'll draw. Is that the 4th finger pistol? No. Wait, does he already have 4 in there? Oh no, that was Tempest Kicked. Yeah, just going 6s into Blackbeard is typically pretty good. And we have a ton of cards in hand now. I feel like with like Nami typically stays high in cards, but the Ivankov just giving you that, like, he's now a blocker because not many decks are playing removal. And then, so they have to swing into it, and then he already drew me, what, 1 or 2 cards? Yeah, so it just, like, pushes you that little bit further, and his threshold is, like, the same as hers, so it feels nice of, like, 6, he draws you to 7, and then you can still leader effect with 7. I will get rid of the Kikunojo here. I probably should have done a Nojiko, but I think that's fine. Yeah, and then I'll play Trash Zeus. Probably gonna play Teach. Oh, double bro. I need Gravity Blade. Jeez. Okay. So I'm at 7. I can play Red Rock. Do I want to do that though? I think I definitely play Jozu, because the kid isn't going to give me an effect. So we'll do that, and then Ivankov will let me draw again. I'll do leader effect, so it's like 6-6-7. Yeah, we'll swing with Ivankov first. And then, yeah, and then I'll just leave 1 up for this so I can bounce the Hiyori back. And I'll swing with the Kikunojo just in case he does hit trigger. I'll draw. And then I'm guessing on his next turn he'll go like Teach. Teach, swing all these. But with leader effect, I don't have any 2Ks. Jeez. Okay, man, he must not have any counter in hand. Yeah, so he has 4, and it's like 8 times 3, 24, plus 5 is 29. 39 divided by 4. And I can take 2 of them. So it's like, yeah, I have 2. Unless he gets rid of this blocker, which will get rid of some of his Dawn, and then I have the Slave Arrow as well. Dang, it's crazy. I still have 8 cards in hand from Ivankov and my leader effect, just continually filling up my hand. I feel like this is every game too. I kind of want to get a couple more 2Ks in the deck. I'm not sure what I want to replace from though, because I'm only running 8 right now. It's just the Hioris and then the Zeuses. Because if I had like 2 more 2Ks in my hand right now, I would have so much counter. The Slave Arrow is obviously not giant, but it feels pretty close to giant with being able to bounce the 2K back. Yeah, so I will use this on the kid, and then I'll just give a 1K here. And then we still have the Slave Arrow that we can use on Hiyori and the blocker. I'm a little bit scared of one of the blocker. Yeah, I was gonna say that was a little bit scary, but I'm still totally fine because I'm at 7. And then I go 4 to 11, 12, 13, 14. I can go to 15. And then I can get the 2K back to go to 17. Okay, so this is 10. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, no matter what happens here, I'm fine. He could split his Dawn. So this is going to be 11. So I could just play Slave Arrow, grab this, give a 1k, and then if he swings this at either of these and then goes like blocker, blocker, I could still, yeah, I would still get there. So we'll just do Slave Arrow, bounce, and then 1k. Yeah, I really like this. I was not playing Slave Arrow when I was first playing this deck, and I really like the Slave Arrow with how often you play the 2Ks. And then we can just take these, or take this, and then, yeah, 1 blocker. Cool. And then now we just go 7. Yay. That was a little bit easier than I was expecting. I was pretty scared of this deck, but they didn't really go for like any form of removal, which is what I was really scared of. So they probably just didn't see it early, and they didn't get stage, which obviously like impacts the deck a lot if they had started with stage. I know they started with like Tempest Kick on their first turn to just try and cycle a little bit more. And then they played all the Burgesses, but we still had 8 cards in hand at the end of the game.